My name is Natalie Gordon, and I am a school trust specialist, and I am here with Lisa Young, who's going to introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Lisa Young, and I currently work as an educational leadership specialist.
And we are here today for a training on School Land Trust Program spring reporting. Please ask questions either through the chat box or through just your microphone. If you're not using your microphone, make sure it's on mute. And I just want to show you guys something. So when you go to schoollandtrust.org/training, which is a link that I've put in the chat box, you can find an outline for the meeting right here. And it just opens up as a Word document. So let's take a look at what we want to start with. Spring reporting starts with, I can hear myself again. Spring reporting starts with the progress report. The progress report is the first report that you'll find on schoollandtrust.org. And the progress report requires you to estimate your end of current school year spending. The reason that you do that is because then it will anticipate the amount you're carrying over into next year's plan that you need to plan for. So go to your progress report, estimate the amount. The best way to make sure that you are close is to talk to your district finance department. When you talk to your district finance department, they can let you know how you've done with spending and if there are any encumbrances for the rest of the year. At this time, if you find out that you're spending too fast or way too slow, you can amend your plan if needed. Make sure that you don't end up with carryover, and we'll talk about that more. But you don't want to carry over a ton of your money into next year, and you don't want to overspend. So you go to your progress report, and you enter that. And I am going to go to the website and show you what that looks like. I spent some time with the principals in the Sevier district. So I'm going to pretend that I am the principal of Ashman Elementary School, just to show you guys stuff. So, district, Sevier, Ashman Elementary. When you're on the school page, then you can come right here and look at your progress report. Progress report, all it's asking for is one number. And the principal at Ashman has already completed that. But what you can see is it shows her official carryover from the prior year, her distribution for the current year, and then she enters the estimated amount that she thinks she's going to spend. So it shows her carryover into the next year. Then when you go to her current school plan, remember this number, 17,638. When you go to her upcoming school plan, that number is entered right here as the estimated carryover. If you don't do your progress report first, then you're going to end up thinking you have all the money from this year left over, and you're going to plan for way too much. We have already entered the estimated distributions for the 2021 school year. We do not anticipate those changing very much. So feel confident planning for that entire amount. Let's see what's next. If you do find that you have a lot of extra money and you're going to have carryover, now's the time that you can amend your plan. Remember that amending your plan requires a vote of your council, that amending your plan also requires you to enter the amendment on schoollandtrust.org and notify your district contact. The district contact will then present the information to the school board for their approval, and then the district will contact us and we'll review it for compliance with rule and law. The rule is that you don't spend any money until the amendment is approved. So get on that and do it quickly. Work with your district to get it done quickly. Any questions yet?
No.
Yes, sorry, I was reminded from someone who's attending live. When you amend your plan, it does require a vote of your council. Thanks. Okay, now we're going to talk about your upcoming plan. As I just showed you, your upcoming plan shows the estimated distribution for the upcoming year and the carryover that's remaining from the progress report. Don't get dizzy. We get a lot of questions about how to write a good goal, and I just want to start with two things. First, your goal must be a component of the teacher and student success plan. We're getting a lot of questions on how the teacher and student success plan and the school land trust plan interact. So I want to tell you from my perspective how they interact. The principal writes the teacher and student success plan, and it is required that the principal consult with the school community council on this plan. The reason that the principal consults with the school community council is twofold. First, because prior, the principal is required to have an in-depth data discussion with the council, including all school-wide assessment data. That will help the council identify if they need to suggest any clarifications or concerns with the goals in the plan. Second, the council needs to consult because the council is going to use the teacher and student success plan to write goals for the school land trust plan. Your school land trust program goals must be a component of your teacher and student success plan goals. So, you have identified critical academic needs in your teacher and student success plan. You're going to use those same academic needs in your school land trust plan. We have found that the best advice we can give to principals is to simplify and clarify when you are doing your final report. When you're doing your spring plan. And I just want to show you quickly, we're going to go back to my friends at Ashman Elementary, and let's look at their current plan. This is the plan they're implementing this year. And we're just going to look at goal number 1. Do you see all this? This is goal number 1 with the measurements and the action plan. We worked together and came up with a more concise and clear way to state a very similar goal for the upcoming school plan. And if you look at it, it's right here. So the goal is simple. In the data review, it was noticed that there weren't enough students reading on grade level. So the goal is to have 80% of the K through 2 students reading on grade level. Ashman is a special school. It only has K through 2 students. The academic area is going to be reading. Now, something that I would have Ashman clarify before they submitted this plan is they're also including math in the measurement, so they should be including math in the goal. I would change the goal to say our goal is to have 80% of Ashman K2 students reading on grade level and performing math skills at grade level at the end of the school year, and change the academic areas to reading and math because the measurements are DIBELS and iReady, and iReady is a math assessment. Then you can quickly take your action plan steps and put them in a bullet list. And I want to show you something here about the action plan. I included this on your form as well, the examples and the clarification. Your action plan can be a bullet list, and make sure that you're explaining what you're using and why for every expenditure needed to implement the plan. If there are other things that are going to be happening that don't cost money to implement the plan, keep track of those, but they don't need to be reported in this plan. You want to make sure that all action plan information is also on your expenditure list. Are there any questions?
No questions. So if you do have a question, please do send them through the chat on the lower right of your screen.
So yeah, if you have any questions about that. The next thing that I want to talk about is the signature page. And I'm going to go back to Ashman Elementary, and I'm going to click on Council Membership and Signature Form. So this is the council membership that the principal entered in the fall. Remember, it's one of those things that needs to be entered before October 20th. So when the principal entered it, it had names, emails, and phone numbers of the entire council. Now, the legislature requires, it's not the legislature, the state board requires, at the request of the School Board Association, that every member of the council have an opportunity to declare if they were a participant in creating this plan. That's what the signature page is for. So, to determine that they were a participant in creating this plan, you have two options. The first is to come here and click Print Signature Form. It's going to print out for you an actual piece of paper with all of your council members' names and an opportunity for them to check that they did participate or they did not participate. Then you can upload that right here on the Upload Signature Form. The second option is to click right here on Send Emails. And that will send an email to each member of the council asking them if they were participating, and they just click a link to respond. The most important thing to remember, and let's go back to, I wonder if I closed it. Let's go back to my Word doc. No, I didn't close it. Here it is. The most important thing to remember with the signature page is that you do one or the other. If you print the form, have the form signed, and then upload it, and then click the link to send emails, the form will disappear. If you send emails and have council members respond, and then just have the last few that weren't able to respond to the email sign a paper and you upload it, it's going to erase all of the email information. So make sure you are doing one or the other, and understand that the program requires an 80% response to be completed. This signature form is used by your district when they review your plan to make sure that the plan had buy-in from all of the council members. And so make sure that the plan is ready with the signature page. With this signature page, we also suggest that you either print it out and bring it to the meeting where your council approves the plan, or send the emails right before that meeting and have the council members respond that day. Then no one is looking for signatures in the middle of June, because that's the worst. Okay, any questions?
Not yet. So if you have a question, here is your chance. Just type it in your chat box. You can send it directly to me, Lisa. I should be in there on the pull down, or you can send it where everyone can see.
Now I want to talk a little bit about some spring compliance concerns. That was one of the things that was identified in the survey that people wanted to address, was spring compliance concerns. I want to let you know that their biggest compliance concerns for spring, first is that you end up with greater than 10% carryover at the end of the school year. State board rule requires that any school that has greater than 10% carryover has to explain why, and any school with more than 20% carryover for consecutive years will be considered not making appropriate progress on your plan. This is the reason. This is a trust. The trust is earning money right now, and the money it's earning are for current and future beneficiaries. The distribution that we send out is for current beneficiaries. If you're carrying over a lot of money, current beneficiaries aren't receiving their benefit from the trust, and future beneficiaries, even if it's just the next year or two, are receiving a greater benefit from the trust. So because of the trust principle of intergenerational equity, we want to make sure that you're not carrying over too much. Every once in a while, you will have a need that is greater than your plan for 1 year. When that happens, work with your school board to create a multi-year plan that they have approved before you start accumulating carryover.
We do have a question when you're ready.
I'm ready.
So the question is, I think I did my progress report wrong. Is there a way to revise it? I put the total amount and didn't leave the carryover box. I had 1,800 carryover from last year.
There is a way to revise it, and let me tell you what it is. Give us a call. You can go to the website and so I'm going to come back up here to the School and Trust website. Look familiar and come to Program Administrators. You can call or email any of us and we can unlock your progress report so that you can do it again. And please understand, this is a call that we get a lot. So don't feel like you're wasting our time. You're not. This is what we want to do. We want to help you get the best information we can. So thank you for that question. Let's come back here to some compliance concerns. Each district has a unique due date. Some of them start as early as the beginning of March. I think there might even be one in the end of February. Every charter school's plan is due on April 1st. And then some district plans are due all the way the first or second week of May. This is what needs to be understood. You need to have your plan approved by your school community council and entered on schoollandtrust.org on or before your district due date. Then your district has until May 15th to complete their review and approval before it comes to us to review the plan for compliance with rule and law. This year we are in a little bit of a tighter schedule because we do have some programming issues this summer, and we believe that schoollandtrust.org will not be operational for the month of July. So if you can get your plan in early and your district can get it approved early, the chances that we'll be able to complete our review and make sure that the money comes to your district in the July disbursement for you to start spending before the students get back to school, that would be the best case. Let me come back over here to my friends at Sevier District, and we'll take a look at how you can tell when your plan is due. Here we are, Sevier District, and we are right here on the main page. The submission deadline for the progress report and the school plan is April 3rd. Remember, every district's going to have a different one. If you can't find it on schoollandtrust.org, contact your district staff. They'll be able to provide the information to you. And remember, that's the date that it needs to be entered on schoollandtrust.org after it has been voted on by your council and approved. Another compliance concern for spring is not having the signature page ready to review with the plan. Understand that if your district due date is April 3rd, that is when your progress report needs to be completed, your upcoming plan needs to be completed, and your signature page needs to be submitted. So either you will have uploaded it to the website or you will have enough email responses back that it says completed. And remember, the program requires 80% to show completed. We know that also in spring, some of you do your elections. And so we wanted to provide some resources. And I'm quickly going to show you where you can find this again in case you weren't here at the beginning. So when we come back to schoollandtrust.org, this is a really great website. Click on training. And if you scroll down to training, here is the training outline and resources. All of the links that I'm going to be talking about are available right there. You can click on it now, or you can click on it later. You can print it out, you can save it as a resource, or you can use it once and then just, remember it again next year. But I want to let you know all of the training outline and resources are available right there. Let's go back here. So we do have a video training that we prepared last year on how to do your elections at your school. It's about 4 minutes long, and it's a link right there, or also there's a link on our website on the elections page. We have prepared an elections checklist that quotes rule and law and lets you know what you're responsible for. And it's a checklist for principals. Remember that the law requires the principals to oversee the elections. So that checklist is also available. Here's a link for it, or you can find it on schoollandtrust.org on the Parents and Councils page and then the elections page. We have been working on some deep compliance concerns. The first was carryover, and we're in our second year working to reduce carryover program-wide. We have been successful. You have done an amazing job making sure that you're not carrying over extra funds into future years. We're going to continue to work on that to help everybody make sure that they're following that trust principle of intergenerational equity. The other thing that we're working on with compliance is your school website. School websites, it's not really time to worry about that right now. School websites need to be updated and correct by October 20th. We reviewed 20% of school websites this year in every district, and we found that there are a lot of things that are missing on school websites. So we've provided you with some resources. The first is a link right here that is also on our schoollandtrust.org page. And I hope that my internet will be faster. It is a list of what is required for your school website. This is kind of boring. Let's cancel it and I'll go to it from, oh, there it is. Yay. So here is the list of what's required for your school website. We also had a really great friend of the program, Joby Wright at the SEDC, prepare a template for school websites. And I have provided a link to that here as well. This is a template that you can use. You can fill in with your own information. It's a Google Doc. And it tells you what you need to have on your website. So right here is one of the requirements, the rules of order and procedure that are used during the meetings. Other requirements include membership of your council with name and contact information, proposed meetings with the date and time. An agenda for the meeting needs to be posted a week before the meeting with any action items marked, and the minutes for the prior meeting, the draft minutes, also need to be posted. Here's another place where you can look at the minutes. State Board rule does require that minutes for the entire school year are available. This is a place that they set up so that you could put information about your elections. You do need to have either a link or a summary to your prior year plan. And again, remember, because we are updating schoollandtrust.org over the summer, it would be much, much better if you printed a PDF and uploaded it to your website than if you link to schoollandtrust.org. It's easier, it's cleaner, and you'll make sure that you have the correct information on August 1st. Here is a place where you put down the allocation for prior years. This is really great because then you can see how the fund has grown. Let me go to a school that has a great website. This is Valley Junior High.
And where can people find this video real quick in case they need to drop off after?
It will be posted on the training page tomorrow. The video of this WebEx will be posted on the training page tomorrow, schoollandtrust.org/training. Or you can email me and I can send you a link. Thank you.
We have someone rushing.
So here's Valley Junior High. And here is their community council page. Easy to find. Right here, it talks about how much money they received this current year. It talks about the importance of parents participating and lets parents know how they can participate. It lists their meeting dates. their rules of order and procedure, their council members with contact information, more information on how and why parents can participate, and then things that are required. The minutes for all of the meetings in the school year, a link to the school's TSSA plan, a link to the summary of the prior year's final report, and that's what I'm finding on Valley Junior High. So great work there, Valley Junior High. Let's come back to this. One of the problems that we have seen is that councils struggle with rules of order and procedure. We have provided on our website a rules of order and procedure template, and I'm just going to quickly show you how to get there. So I'm on training at schoolandtrust.org, and I'm going to switch over to parents and councils right here. At parents and councils, we have information for councils right here, and it includes a template for rules of order and procedure. With that template, it comes up as a document that you can edit, and it tells you which ones of these things are required and which ones of these things are best practices. You can go through with your council, determine what belongs in your rules of order and procedure, vote on it, fill in the blanks, delete all of the yellow, put the date that you voted on it on the rules, and then save them and upload them to your website. State law requires that those rules be on your website and also available at each meeting. So if they're easy to find on your website, you'll have them for each meeting as well. Any other questions before we move forward? Okay, we are going to take a break. I just want to show you a couple of other things that will make you successful as a principal while you are managing this program. The first is a proposed timeline for the School and Trust program during the year. This one's a little more in depth than the one that we use sometimes, and it is going to just kind of help you know what your responsibilities are. It starts out with elections. It talks about what the district does during August, September, and October. It shows what your website requirements are and what your reporting requirements are by October 20th. And then it talks about your spring reporting right here. So this will show you the timeline of how the program works. On the website, there's another timeline that I want to show you because I think it's great and really a helpful tool to print out for your councils. Paula, where can I find that? Your new timeline. Let's check and see if it's on the training page. Thankfully, Paula Plant, our director, is here. School Community Council annual timeline, right here. I love this because it's bright, because it lets you know when you can be doing things to make sure that you get all of the requirements in. And it's easy to print out and share. Now, one of the things that is newly required is a school safety plan. And we're suggesting that your school safety plan and your digital citizenship report can go hand in hand. If we go back here to my training doc, here is a link to our website where it shows digital citizenship information, including, it's got a couple of discussion guides to make things easier for you. It also has that timeline one more time. And then it has a whole bunch of links that you can use for digital citizenship and school safety. A lot of resources are here, and they're valuable resources. Another thing I want to point out is we had a council send us a resource that they had found that they were using, And we included it on our page because it really is one of the best practices. So if you have something that you're doing, send it to us and we can make sure that other schools in the state can benefit from your knowledge. And we've also completed a short video on your digital citizenship and school safety plans that you can access either from this training document or from our website on the training page. So we are going to wrap up in just a minute. Are there any more questions?
Here's one. If our school board has established criteria for our TSSA plans, such as only using the funds for literacy and social emotional development, does that limit the goals we can create on our own land trust plan?
That's a really great question, and I'm glad you asked it. That is something that you will need to talk to your district about, because that's something that the districts oversee. The TSSA plan is entered on your school website, but it's a district plan. The school and trust plan is originally approved by your district. So talk to them and see if there are any other priorities that they would like you to consider for your school land trust plan. And if not, if they're limiting you to TSSA, maybe encourage them to allow you to include a few extra goals in your plan.
Any other questions?
You have been fabulous. This has been a wonderful experience. Jerry is going to edit this, and we're going to have it up on our website tomorrow. If this was great, please recommend it to some of your other friends who are principals so that they can access this training and get the same information. And please make sure, if you haven't already, to fill out the survey and let us know what we can do better. Always remember, and this is the most important thing I'm going to show you, schoollandtrust.org is an amazing resource. The most amazing part of this resource is right here. It's our contact information. We answer our phones. We reply to our emails. If you leave a message, we'll call you back the next day. We want you to know that we understand you do a million things every year. We do one thing every day. So let us help you be successful, because nothing makes us happier or feel more fulfilled than seeing this program work in your school and seeing improved student performance because of the School and Trust program. Thank you very much.